OK, we start in Paris, and Team GB's Matthew Hudson-Smith missed out on a gold medal by the narrowest of margins in the 400 metres. Hudson-Smith led throughout the race, but a late surge from Quincy Hall, who was in fourth place heading into the final 50 metres, saw the American take gold. In the end, Hudson-Smith missed out by just 0.0 seconds, finishing with a time of 43.44, a European record and the fifth fastest 400 metres time ever.
Well, the margins in sport are sometimes very, very cruel. Matt Hudson-Smith must have thought he had gold in the bag. He pretty much ran a faultless race in the men's 400 metres, hoping to become the first British man to win the Olympic 400 metre final in 100 years. Unbelievably close to doing so. Yes, he's got the silver, but how the American Quincy Hall somehow judged that race to get over the line, probably a metre, half a metre in front of Matt Hudson-Smith, who goodness only knows. Hudson-Smith ran a perfect race. He went out fast, but held that speed around both bends at 200 and come into the 100 straight. Quincy Hall, the American, who we thought would be one of his great rivals, he was gone. He was nowhere to be seen. But somehow, the American, who used to be a 400-metre hurdler, that brings extra endurance. He had a lot left in the tank, and he just came through with unbelievable grit and determination and just got in front of Matt Hudson-Smith on the line to take gold. Shows what a quick race it was. For Quincy Hall, the American, that was a personal best. For Matt Hudson-Smith, another European record. And then for the bronze medal for Muzala Samakongo from Zimbabwe, a national record for him. An extraordinary race. Matt Hudson-Smith visibly upset at the end of the race, consoled by family and friends. But then we saw a smile. Hopefully at some point he will realise what a race that was. And he is an Olympic silver medalist.
Yeah, 0.04 the margin in the end in the 400 metres. Now, Team GB picked up a 1,000th medal in their Olympic history as the men's pursuit riders, won silver in the velodrome. Australia were favourites to win the race after setting a new world record in their first round head-to-head race against Italy, and they went on to take the gold by a margin of 2.3 seconds. Team GB have collected 3 medals from the first 3 days at the velodrome. Now, George Mills will run in the 5,000 metres final despite falling in the home straight of his heat and getting into a trackside spat, as you can see here, with France's Hugo Hay. Well, Mills and Hay clashed with 90 metres to go. Mills hit the floor, brought down 3 other runners as well. Mills finished 18th and exchanged angry words with Hay, accusing him of causing the collision. But Mills, who is the son of former Leeds defender Danny Mills, will advance to the final following a review by the video referee. Now, Andy McDonald failed to reach the final of the men's skateboarding park event, but became the oldest competitor in the sport's Olympic history with his runs in the preliminary heats. 51 years old, and he's been a professional for 30 years and is 35 years older than Team GB teammate Sky Brown. McDonald had previously competed against Tony Hawk, who was on hand to cheer him on. Despite failing to advance, he called it the experience of a lifetime. Now, Olympic silver medalist Josh Kerr insists he executed the perfect race strategy in the men's 1,500 metres final despite losing out to Cole Hocker. Kerr's initial focus was on defending Olympic champion Jacob Ingebrigtsen, but a late surge from the American caught the runners and the spectators off guard.
Those are the races that you want to be involved in. Those are the ones that you fantasize growing up and, you know, going right to the line like that. Obviously wanted to be the one crossing that finish line first, but, you know, I can't do anything about what anyone else does other than myself. And I told myself I would execute the perfect 1,500 metre race plan for myself and run the best 1,500 and the fastest 1,500 that the British history's ever seen. And I did that, and it wasn't quite enough for what I wanted, but, you know, I think it's a good prize for runners-up. I knew he was going to, you know, pull all of us into deep waters and you know, fast early. I think we're on world record pace through the 800 split, and you know, I wasn't too fazed by that. I kind of thought that was going to happen. Just weathered that storm as much as possible. Just, you know, kept the heart rate low as possible. Looked at the floor and went to my dark place. And you know, I knew I had a good bit of running left in me in that last 500. So stayed awake and aware and made a move down the back stretch to get me closer. And he was looking around, so I knew I had him at 200. And then it was just making sure that I went at the right time with all the other guys around as well.
Did you think you executed the perfect race, and did you have any idea of where Cole Hocker was going to come from?
Look, I think none of us thought there would be 4 or 5 guys still kicking about at 3:27 pace. That's not what I thought was going to happen, but I knew it was happening at the time, and I stayed present in the moment, and you know, I was fluid with what was going on around me. I definitely knew that I needed to be on the shoulder with 200 to go. And with him looking around, I didn't need to go past him because I knew I would have had him in the last 100. So, yeah, it was just trying to figure out how to get to that line as quickly as I could in that last 100. And I nearly had it and just started falling apart a little bit and just threw my chest at the line for that silver medal. And, you know, it's an upgrade from bronze, but not quite upgraded up all the way to the top quite yet. Yeah.
Well, Ingebrigtsen was back in action this morning as he eased his way through the 5,000 metres heats. But does the result last night mark the end of the rivalry between Kerr and the Norwegian?
When you walk away from a championships in a race like that, you know, obviously he was very brave to go out and run the way he did, but when you cross the finish line and everyone's put that kind of performance together, you can't have anything but respect for your competitors. You know, I have massive respect for Cole and for Yard and everyone in that race, to be honest, because, you know, we laid it out there and we did it in front of an 80,000 person stand to hold on to these fans and hopefully inspire that next generation of athlete coming through.